This is the third episode of Artists Through the Ages, so thank you for coming on. My name's Harper, and I'm here with my guest, Mark Dressel.
Correct.
How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
So, usually we start out the interviews by asking, "What's your favorite color?" What's your favorite color?
Red.
Oh, well, we have a large assortment of reds here. We actually got a few.
Yeah, red's my favorite.
Yeah, so I got a nice Prismacolor set here I got for Christmas. Do you usually work with markers, you'd say, or?
I've used markers a little bit, but I usually just draw and paint.
Okay, cool.
So, but markers are fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like markers.
Nice. My favorite color is green, so I'll probably start with green, maybe. I like this one. So, Mark, could you give us a little bit of a background of your life as an artist?
Yeah. Basically, I can remember when I was in kindergarten, like second grade, coming into school, getting out paper and crayons and just doing art.
Yeah.
I can still remember that like it was yesterday. It was a lot of fun, and I've always had that passion for art. When I went to college, or in high school, I was in the art and everything, but then when I got to college, I was thinking, going into math and science or something like that. Maybe a doctor, physical therapist or something like that. But then I'm like, I didn't declare a major until my end of my second year. And I think what got me was the instructor. He was for chemistry. In chemistry, I had these beautiful charts and graphs that I would make.
Yeah.
And he goes, they look fantastic, but they're all wrong. They're not right. You need to redo these. And he looked at my signature and he says, "Are you an artist?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an artist." But I think at that point I kind of clicked with it. It's like, I wasn't good at math or science. I mean,
Right.
I could memorize things, but I didn't have any way I was going to,
Right.
actually make a living doing that. But but it was kind of funny because, when he said that. But so I've been doing art ever since. And
Oh, cool.
I worked for Northrop Grumman as a graphic designer.
Okay.
And everything I learned there, I had a finance arts degree when I went to Towson University.
Okay.
But when I got to Northrop Grumman, it used to be Westinghouse, I was like,
Might as well.
I'm like, I can do this, my stuff, but they were doing other things. They had it was more boxes and line drawings and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But what happened was I actually came in when the first computers came out.
Okay.
And we actually started using was it Apple Lisa? And then everything grew from that. So.
Okay.
But now to now, I'm
Right.
all those programs I use.
So what company do you work at again?
Northrop Grumman.
Okay, and what is that?
It's a defense contractor.
Okay.
Down by the airport. It's really big. It's a big employer.
Okay, gotcha.
In Maryland.
So what's your role there right now?
Graphic design is what I my title is.
Okay.
But I can do anything from caricatures to scenarios with all kind of military equipment and that kind of things, and presentations.
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentations, video animation.
Sure.
So the whole gamut. But I still like doing the fine art better.
Yeah. Of course.
It's a lot more satisfying to me to do the fine art.
Right.
But
that's very cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you kind of started. You'd say you started professionally doing art during college, or
Well, I've never.
You discovered that.
Yeah, I discovered that I liked to do art,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't like doing art as a freelance artist.
Okay.
I found it's a little, people are really picky about what they do or what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you become, you're basically you're working for them, and, yeah, of course you have to do what they want, but, I kind of didn't really like doing that because I felt like I was sacrificing some of the things that I wanted to do.
Okay.
Of course, when you're making money, you have to make sacrifices. So
Yeah.
basically what happened was Northrop Grumman was a good way to make money and then do my fun stuff at home.
Right.
So,
Okay.
That was one of the benefits of it. And
Nice. Right.
yeah, and that's what I tell people. I said, if you don't want to be a freelance artist, and there are a lot of wonderful artists out there, but like when you're doing something like say somebody who wants a poster of a face or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you do the face, but it's like looking at all the photos in Getty. You can look at all those photos and not find one that matches what you're envisioning in your head. And
Exactly.
even when you're collaborating closely with somebody on something, there's still variations. Oh, can you make that different? Make his nose longer or whatever.
Right.
But if you can make money doing something that's close to what your passion is, if you can't, art is different. It's a tough field. So
Yeah.
so you just make the best of it, and but it's worked for me. I've been working there for what, 38 years, and but it's worked, and also allowed me the freedom to spend time with the kids and Jen, and
Right.
so
Well, nice.
yeah.
That's kind of
AI
Yeah.
is like, okay, like when I go into Illustrator now, I can import a photograph, right? And I used to make all these pieces myself. I literally take a photograph of a bird, put it in Illustrator, hit image trace, and then you can put in like high quality photo, and in like a minute, you have a high quality vector image
wow.
that you can
Yeah.
make as big as you want, no pixels,
Wow.
and it's literally a minute and a half, maybe, if that. And then if you don't like it, you can switch it to something else. They have like these different menu items you can switch them around. But that kind of thing is like, you just have to stay ahead of it if you can. But again, you still have to be true to what you're doing. You can't worry about what everybody else is doing, and the AI. Everybody's like panicking, especially people like my age. Well, they're not going to need me any. Well, they kind of do, and depending on what your goal is. I mean, if you want to be a painter or a sculptor or videographer or whatever you're doing, but the AI is going to be there. It's a tool, and just like anything else. I mean, they said the same thing when Photoshop came out.
Right.
Well, we're not going to need photographers anymore. Well, you kind of do. You need the human element that has to be in there.
Yeah.
And so you just have to figure out how to use it yourself.
True.
If possible.
Yeah.
What's your favorite aspect of making videos? Actually shooting it, or?
That's a good question. I think editing it is up there as one of my favorite parts, because there's a sense of accomplishment that comes with actually finishing the product, and especially, I mean, I did a short film a few months ago, and it was really cool, mainly to see an idea like that come to life and see it actually play out. And when I'm filming, I kind of have to just trust the process a little bit.
Right.
And
there's so many variables there,
right.
as far as lighting and
exactly
textures and people
yeah
being in the background or
exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, so that it is the process there, filming. I also enjoy writing a lot, and I like writing. Like I said, I'm writing my feature film, and I like elements of story, and I think that's probably that and editing are probably my favorite parts. Because I think finishing a big project is really like a feeling that can't be replaced,
Right.
There's a lot of pride.
It's
that
very
comes
satisfying.
With that.
It's like me when I finish a painting, or in the process. And the whole process is fun in a way,
Right.
because shooting, they all have different dynamic.
Yeah.
So if like you're writing or editing or whatever, it's very satisfying when you reach the end of that process and you see, and it comes out nice, and especially when it comes out the way you envisioned it.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't come out the way you envision it.
Yeah.
And it might come out better.
True. That's true.
There's a story I had. I did a face of Albert Einstein, right?
Okay.
In watercolor.
Oh.
So I'd spent like 2 hours being real careful and everything, and I went to put the background on, and the color that I used for the background was way too dark. It was
really
overwhelming everything. I'm like, and you can't, in watercolor, you've used watercolor before, it's very unforgiving.
Right.
If you mess it up, you can't go back and rework it. So I got a can of spray paint out that had a faulty nozzle on it, and I masked off Einstein's face, and I sprayed the background and looked like stars.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't intend to do that.
Wow, yeah.
And I took it to school, and I showed my teacher, and he goes, "Oh my God, this is like fantastic." He goes, and I said, "It was a total accident. It was not planned." And he says, "No, it was meant to be that way. So, but you salvaged it."
Yeah.
And he says, "Yeah." And that's what happens sometimes, like, whatever, like in your process when you're working on the video, something might come up, and it's like you had no expectation that it was going to come out that way.
Exactly.
So
true. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of transformation in the process too, which is something I'm becoming more open to now that I've been making more and more videos, and I think that's a wonderful part of filmmaking as well, and art, like you said. So I don't know the last time you've been asked this, but I think this question can still be applied no matter how old you are. And that is, what would you like to be when you grow up?
what would I like to be when I grow up? I've never grown up. I'm still doing the fun things that I like. Jen's gonna probably kill me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I got a skateboard at home. Okay, it's a tall one.
Yeah.
It's a cruising board. It's not for doing tricks, because I don't do tricks. But it's like this wide and it's this tall. Doesn't have any wheels on it because my son took the wheels off and never replaced them. So I want to get wheels for that and then use it where we're moving to. And she goes, "You just don't understand. It needs to go bye-bye." I'm like, "No, not yet."
Yeah.
I can still. And cruising is so easy. It doesn't take any skill, and especially on flat surfaces, and that you go as fast as you want to go.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's just I haven't really grown up. It's and that's when I'm with the kids same way. Kids they give you inspiration and energy. So
Oh, that's very cool.
There's enough people who have grown up.
Yeah.
There's enough older people who act old. I don't need to act that way.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to ask you that, because it's still, you're never fully grown up. You're always growing, and that's very interesting to hear you say that. Yeah, that's super cool. Where are you guys? You said you wanted to take the skateboard where when you moved?
Yeah, because when we move, we're going to move into a community that's like where you can do things.
Okay.
Not like, I don't like individual houses. I like places where you can do things.
Yeah.
Ride your bike or ride a skateboard and all that. So it's basically in the community we're moving to.
Okay.
And yeah, and there's not hills, and I never was really a risk taker as far as like flying down hills at high speed. My son did that, and my brother did that, but I'm like,
okay.
I just don't like getting torn up by the asphalt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you skateboard?
I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a few boards in my room. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to ride with my dad down in Patterson Park right over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Well, it's fun to do that, and a lot of people miss out. And it's good that your dad did it with you, because a lot of people never get that opportunity because their parents are involved in other things, or they just don't. They don't come outside very much.
Right.
And when I was younger, I would always come outside with the kids and play and everything. And that time you can't get back, so it's really, really nice to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, but skateboarding is my son does that. He loves skateboarding, but to be able to do that with somebody else and a family member or whatever is great. It's time you always remember.
Exactly.
So
True.
did you do like many tricks or?
No, I never learned.
Because I never could do the tricks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I felt like, how did they come up with that trick? I can't even conceptualize the trick, and they're doing the trick.
Yeah. Right.
Like my son, this one park is actually like an old building that was burned down, and it had these different levels, and you could skate down the levels.
Okay.
And he was jumping off this one ledge, and so he would spin the board like that.
Oh yeah.
And then, so he's jumping down 6 feet, but he's spinning the board, and then landed on it, and then landed.
Right.
But what he was doing, he was flipping the board around like that, and his legs weren't up high enough, so his toe was just stopping the board.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, pull your legs up higher. So I went home to get my camera to come back to see, take some pictures, and he'd landed it.
Really? Wow.
It was great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty
awesome.
cool. I said, you could have waited till I came back. Because sometimes when you land things, you don't land them again for a long time. It's just
impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
You know who's really inspirational to me is Jean-Baptiste,
Okay.
the singer. He's always positive. He's always smiling, and he's creative as hell. He's just out there, but he has such a good attitude about everything. And his wife's gone through cancer treatments.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's still positive about things.
Wow.
So, and that's what you have to be positive.
Right.
Trying to think of some of the movies that are coming out now.
What did I just see? I saw this movie Civil War that just came out. It's an A24 movie. Do you know A24?
No.
It is it's like an independent production company, but it's it's like a big indie production company. So it's pretty major or famous, I'd say.
Right.
And so Civil War, it's basically, I saw it with my dad, and it takes place in the near future, it says, but it's pretty much like present day. And it's pretty much like America has broken up into this civil war, and it's pretty much everyone against the government, pretty much. And so these journalists, these photographers, are going in to try and get a statement from the president, because everyone's trying to kill the president, so they have to get there to get one last statement before they kill him, pretty much.
Right.
And it's very, very interesting. I thought it was really good, and I'm pretty sure it's still showing. Hey,
Kitty.
yeah, this is Tonks. She's I think she's 15, or she's turning 15 this year. Hi, should you come up? Come here, come on. There you go.
Hiya, kitty. 15.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, old. Yeah,
Very affectionate.
Yeah, very. Yeah, we've had her for
He's pretty.
had her for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Your buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Have you seen any movies that are recently that you thought were pretty good?
I'm trying to think of some we just saw. Oh, we did see Oppenheimer. That was really good.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, that was really good.
I love that.
We saw the Barbie movie too,
Yeah.
which was really good.
Uh-huh.
And it was like we went to, and they had that the Barbie and Oppenheimer playing at the same theater, and we were like, well, we can go see Oppenheimer, but
Yeah.
let's go see a fun movie. So we saw Barbie, and it was
Cool.
it was actually really good.
Nice.
I was cracking up.
Nice. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot, yeah.
Did you see Saturday Night Live last week?
No.
Oh my gosh, they had Ryan Gosling on there.
Okay.
And they were all cracking up so much. It was like something you don't normally see.
Really?
But in the middle of the skits were so funny. I mean, it was definitely worth it to watch it, because we don't usually watch it because we usually are going to bed or something.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, Ryan Gosling is hilarious. He's got some. He's really funny. He's got some chops for sure.
He doesn't seem like he takes himself very seriously.
No.
He just is like, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna sit back and watch everybody else. What's been most helpful about the internship?
Most helpful. I mean, it's got to be the people and the mentors I have there, for sure.
Like the collaborations.
Yeah. That really fostered my love for the craft, I think. Seeing other people do it and get in that zone and that community was really helpful for me. Before I started the internship, I was pretty much just like making YouTube videos for fun. So I kind of already had a love for it. I made one short film before. But being there, I really started taking it more seriously. And having those people there to motivate me was really, really helpful, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice when you have people who are helpful and positive, and when they are helping you.
Right.
It's nice, and like my experience through work, a lot of people thought knowledge is power, which it is. But my way that I would work to help other people, especially, whenever I would be doing a program and I'd discover something that was really cool and saves you time, I would share it.
Yeah.
I'd like, hey, did you see this? Did you take, did you run into this? Or, and then, and one guy said to me one day, he says, you're very free with your knowledge. And he was one of the guys that would never share any information.
Right.
So, and I would specifically help him and show him things, but he wouldn't do that. But then he actually turned around in his attitude
Really?
Yeah, and then he says, it's good that you do that. And I'm like, well, it's not my art. I didn't create this these tools. Some other artists created these tools, and we get to use them, which I think is fantastic. And if I can help somebody,
Right.
I think it's better. And that's the way I think that your mentors at BCPS, I think they have an attitude like that, where they want to help people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think, especially with just the fact that they take in new interns every year, and that it's a thing that they help interns, and that they help the kids that work there. That obviously all of them must have an aptitude to help and teach, right? Mr. Dodson, I mean, he's been a teacher, and he already has that natural inclination to teach and to help the youth. So that's really helpful, and that's why I definitely gravitate towards him for sure.
Yeah,
he helps a lot. Yeah,
they're all just. I think the word that kind of sums everything up is their kindness. They seem to be very kind with each other and helpful.
Yeah.
And interested in putting out good product. You know, the bottom line is at the end, when you know, if you can do that and get a good product out, you know, it's all worth it.
Yeah.
So your cat is just in heaven.
Yeah. She loves hanging out with me.
Look at that little face.
Yeah.
They always like these little muscles on the side of their face scratched. Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Our cat was 18 years old.
Really?
And when we opened up the refrigerator, he'd be laying right in front of the refrigerator, never even touch him. He was so skinny.
Really?
Yeah, because it was only like this high.
Yeah.
And it would just go right over him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's funny.
Have you ever watched the The Legend of Korra?
It rings a bell, but I don't think I.
Or The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
They just did a remake for the Last Airbender, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
Special effects in it are great, and the character interaction is pretty good too. They're stayed pretty close to the animated Nickelodeon feature. So
that's cool. Yeah, I mean I love Nickelodeon. I mean, The Last Airbender, I watched a few episodes, but I wasn't really into it like something like SpongeBob or something like that. That was my show.
Right. SpongeBob?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, my high school just did a SpongeBob musical just a few weeks ago, just last week.
Oh, really?
It was really good, actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, SpongeBob. I drive my wife crazy because he always does this crazy noise. It's like, what is it? Oh God, I can't remember.
It's his laugh, or is it like okay?
And my wife is like, "You are driving me crazy."
Oh boy, yeah.
The old SpongeBob. He's a mess.
Yeah, it's classic. It's a classic show. I like Ren.
You know the story about him, right? Or the guy who created it?
The story about him, or
he was a oceanographer.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, that's the noise. I couldn't remember what it was. I'll be getting out of the shower, and I go, Do you want me to hurt? Do you want it to hurt, SpongeBob?
Oh, brother.
Do you want it to hurt, Kevin? Oh God. Yeah, we spent a lot of time watching SpongeBob when the kids were little. Because when I was working on second shift, so I'd be home with the kids all day.
Okay.
So we'd watch SpongeBob, and the one time the kids came down for breakfast, and they're like, "What can we have? What do you want for breakfast?" And I'm like, they said, "Well, can we have ice cream?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they're like, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, so we had a breakfast, and it was
my
ice cream,
goodness.
and again, I caught heat for that.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Let's sign them.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes. All right. All right. Today's the 19th.
Yeah, it's the 19th.
Yes.
4/19, 2024.
Great.
There you go.
Oh. Wow. Thank you.
Fantastic. I got a whole menagerie of faces.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
I was thinking about what I'd do for the last episode, and I was like, yeah, I should just do a ton. I should just do a ton of them. Yeah.
Faces. Well, that's the thing I actually like the most. Mm-hmm. I've always done portraits. My first portrait was of Steve Martin.
Really? Nice.
Off of People magazine.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have the painting.
Really?
Yeah.
Faces are. I always doodle faces.
Faces are interesting to me. Mm-hmm. They're none of the same. They're all different.
Mm-hmm. Is that Billie Eilish?
Yes.
Nice.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool.